What you looking forward to? What you looking forward to? Nothing?
He didn't eat lunch. Red's like, I look forward to the patio. That's what Ryan would be nasty. I'd be all sticky.
The plans for the 2003 Fetzer Willis trip to Sweden really started with my mom, Greta Marie Thorsen Fetzer, who wanted to bring her whole family over to Sweden, show us where she had grown up, get to know that side of the family better, and build some bonds between the cousins. And she really wanted to expose her grandchildren to the culture.
She was generous enough to pay for the rental car and the flights and the hotel accommodations. It was just an authentic Swedish vacation.
The thing that really struck me on the trip was the immersion in the Swedish culture, staying in this Swedish beach town, getting Swedish meals, being with this Swedish family in their environment was just something I'll remember.
I was impressed with how welcoming everybody was. They opened their home to us. Gudrun cooked 3 meals a day for all these people. The younger children spent their week with us.
I remember our house was like much bigger than the Willies. The Willies had all those cots pushed together with 3 boys pretty much sleeping side by side.
I also remember in the house, we had our own separate house to sleep in, which was nice. The bedroom was very tight. We had 4 beds in a tiny 10 foot by 10 foot room. I don't believe there was curtains on the window, and the sun rose at about 3 a.m.
Taking a hike to the tennis courts. We started the hike at 10 p.m. because it just never got dark in Sweden.
We would go out at 10 o'clock at night and go for a walk because it was very light outside. The whole group wander around, see the sights.
One of my greatest memories was walking with Alf and my mom on the rocks the first night we got there. And we took a pretty long hike, and it was 11 o'clock at night. She took us to the tennis courts, the clay courts where she used to play tennis. And she said they still look the same, and she was a pretty good tennis player. And also she showed us the rocks where she used to jump at 4 years old into the water. My mother just beaming with smiles. She couldn't believe we were there. I'll never forget that hike. That's a big memory for me.
But I do remember going to the beach in Sweden and swimming out to a square platform 20-30 yards offshore and seeing the jellyfish. And I remember there were different kinds of jellyfish. They each had different colors, and certain colors were more poisonous than others.
I remember swimming out to that swim platform, going out when that Babbitt, you get there, you stand up, and there's all these jellyfish. You don't really see much water. So it's very odd just, jumping right in. But you have to swim back, so you're swimming, you're just hitting jellyfish the whole time.
My favorite memory would be when we made jellyfish traps on the beach.
There were so many jellyfish, they were all near the beach. We would throw them at each other.
Definitely the jellyfish, throwing them at each other.
And they would explode.
We put them inside of these holes that we dug on the beach and then covered them with sand and waited for people to walk on top of them, and their feet would sink into the traps.
We would make big pits of them in the sand and cover them over.
He probably murdered hundreds of jellyfish.
We would throw them on the rocks near the beach.
That's it. Now, there's no stop. He's crossed the line. He cannot possibly save himself. He's got to control all his body weight. Oh, can he do it? Can he go? Yes. Oh.
Alf was a sailor, and he had a lot of boats, so everyone got a turn with Alf out on the water.
We had 2 separate trips because not everyone could fit together on one boat. I remember that we went around a little, I don't know if it would be a full island or if we went back and forth around a peninsula, but it was a pretty long trip, and we all got to take turns steering. That was cool. We had some good snacks on board, cinnamon rolls and whatnot. So I enjoyed that, definitely.
Brad and Zach got to go on a motorboat to some cow island.
Sailed out to a little island or a different part of the peninsula or something.
How's it going, Captain Zach? Is he doing good?
He's doing fine. He must be from the United States, I suppose. Doing very fine. And now you must turn a little bit to the left.
We parked on the island. Brad found a starfish, and we kind of hiked up to a windmill.
So is cereal like? Is that where they got the idea for cereal for the bread part?
Wheat and corn, you should know them.
Yeah.
Oats.
Yeah.
Down up there and down there between the stones and then they took it out in sacks. Those sacks. And up here you see, here, it's no metal. You see they were going around.
And they saw cow pooping.
Oh.
Yes, been easy much. I'm not gonna have found that, Brad.
I remember Daniel got a turn to drive the boat. He was just really excited. It's just a great memory.
I remember ice cream every afternoon with Nana Greta because she wanted to. That was like a tradition to have glass in Sweden. And I always got the Dame flavored, which is like a vanilla caramel kind of thing.
Brad created Brad Ball with either a volleyball or a kickball or something. I don't remember the rules, but it was some fun game. We played that several days there.
Jamer stepping on my foot with stilts. I told him I was never going to talk to him again, but here I am doing a voice recording for him, so definitely broke my vow on that one.
I remember going to Alf's house and eating Swedish meatballs and pancakes, and I remember the sun would stay out really late in Sweden, but other than that, that's pretty much about all I remember. I was only 6 years old at the time.
One thing that I remember from the trip is that there was this large area of rocks right next to the beach that you could climb on top of. And we did this several times. You went up there and you could see over the entire beach. It was gorgeous views up there.
There's a video out there of Jamer's panning around, and then he sees an attractive lady and he hits her with a close-up. Definitely shocked Aunt Annie when she saw it for the first time.
We got to ride Balder, which was new that year in 2003, one of only 4 Intamin prefabricated wooden coasters in the world. Looking back, that's pretty cool.
How was that roller coaster?
It was fun. Not as good as the Boulder.
Not as good as Boulder?
No.
Dan, did you like that coaster? You do it again?
I do it again.
How about you guys? Would y'all do it again?
I like it. Yeah.
Up that hill?
I would.
Who?
I would.
At the reunion in Fritzla, the boys played Cub with their Swedish cousins. Just looking out the window and seeing them out there playing and having fun and playing a game they'd never played or heard of.
One of the memories I have in Sweden was going to Fritzla and seeing where Mom and Alf and Lars grew up. Their home, which was known as the Big House. The Thorsons were a relatively affluent family in Fritzla. They owned a large house in the center of town. A lot of the same original fixtures and things were in the house, very much as Mom remembered it. Almost every room had like a wood-burning stove, and just a very interesting slice of life to see how my mother grew up.
The Big House was a good memory for me because as a child we used to go there and play with my cousins. Real skinny staircase, and you could run up and down that and get to the back side of the house and into the kitchen. And that was still there. There was wood-burning stoves in every room.
I am very happy that we have been able to come together here in Fritzla, where our ancestors did appear, and they, thanks to them, we are here, almost all of us. And I am glad that you have come here, of course, and I think everybody has said hello to Greta and all her 10 persons, and to Lars and all his Nancy. And all my Nancy. So we got connected as Nokia. Yeah. I hope this day will be fine for everybody, and that we shall feel that we are together in the same family.
I think that I wanted you to know, first for Alf and Gudrun, and maybe Alf and Lars, we started it in America last fall when Alf came to see us, that we should all get together. And I also wanted to say, I think it's very nice that you're letting me with my children and my grandchildren, since you all have precious families, but we couldn't have it everybody time. So I look at you and I kind of put it all in my heart, and I will go back and hopefully I have talked to all of you, I will heard something about all of you.
I really want to thank Al, because Mom mentioned last fall when he visited, this whole idea of the reunion kind of got started. And I remember sitting in Annabelle's kitchen with Al and Annabelle and our families and Greta and Al, starting very gently at first saying, I think it would be a good idea. I could do my own Alf impression. I think it would be a good idea if it would come. And then a little bit stronger, a little bit more firm.
All the boys, I think one of the best memories I'll have is that I'm all playing and interacting, even though they all don't know the same language. I think that was very neat.
And I just want to remember that trip as a great experience, and I know we thanked my mom up and down. So she was, it was very exciting and fun, and so glad we did that. So glad we did that.
Oh, det har blivit så bra, tack så mycket. We had such a good time. Love every minute of it. Jag hoppas att alla tycker om Sverige. Hope everybody has liked it. And the family, get to know the family, that means so much. And I'm so happy that we came. Love to go back with memories in my heart till I die. And I always remember all the things I remember from when I grew up. I'm grateful to Claude for the means that it took to come over here. I think we've had a really good time. We have so cool. I'm so glad that you all have gotten to know my family and got to know Sweden. And that you and Annabelle and Anders, Monique and the boys, I think the boys will remember. I think it's wonderful.